thing's been burning for like 50 minutes.
That water is so powerful. Woo, look at it go.
You got like 1 or 2 trucks out here, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it just went up.
It is definitely worse than it was 10 minutes ago.
Can't see anything else out here hardly. It's gotten worse.
The wind is feeding the flames.
Boy, look at all that damage.
It was a 3 alarm like 20 minutes ago. It's got to be at least like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, you can see the fire trucks down there again a little. They're lights anyway.
The wind is keeping the smoke low and in the area.
I'm sure most of these people were at work too, so they didn't have time to grab everything.
And it's sad to see anybody lose all their possessions.
You know, whatever the fire doesn't touch, the water's gonna ruin.
There's the other man on the ladder over there. Bless his heart and all this smoke. Gee whiz. Ooh, it's falling in.
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
Dang.
Damn.
Wow.
That thing is toast.
I know what they're gonna feel. I was homeless. Yeah, homeless for 3 years. I don't want them to feel hopeless. I don't, because you don't have to feel hopeless.
We would never want to see people lose everything they have, but our primary function is to prevent loss of life. And thankfully, everyone did get out safely.
You gotta love the Dallas firemen. Oh, they're great.
Okay, here we go.
On nights when temperatures will likely dip below freezing,
Hey, brother.
those who don't have a home in Dallas
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
are lucky to meet a guy
We got you a ride.
like this.
So let's get our hiney down there and get out of the weather. How about it? Okay, come on. Let's go do it, okay? All right. Well, we're 2 for 2, folks. All right, here we go.
He has an easy task,
We're gonna make it.
but one not many would think or want to do.
We're gonna make it.
Canvassing Dallas in a van.
Glad I found you. What's your name?
Barbara.
Barbara, good to meet you.
Good to meet
Yeah,
you.
good to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm BB.
BB McGowan,
I am.
that is. He's picking up the homeless
Yeah.
and taking them to the United
You're
Methodist
welcome,
Church
young
in Oak Lawn, where there's shelter
Thank you for volunteering.
and security, as Reverend Rachel Bachman adds.
You can be the difference for somebody. You can help somebody know there is a warm place to go and you can have a place of safety tonight.
McGowan doesn't mind being that messenger.
When I got sober, it was part of my heart to help. And I wanted to.
Because 3 years ago, he was homeless.
I used to just drive by maybe people that were less fortunate, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we all fall down in life.
You want to ride?
But on nights like tonight, McGowan likes letting everyone know.
The important part's getting up.
In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
Yeah, the anticipation is killing me right now.
He's going undercover,
I am. I'm really anxious.
camouflaging his real identity.
I'm about to see them, and after so long, they're literally they're my best friends. So it's been hard not to see them. It's been 195 days, to be exact. 195 days. Let's see.
It's a surprise. 6 months in the making.
All right, how do I look?
He looks like a mascot.
Ferocious.
Ready for Spirit Day
All right, here we go.
at his son's elementary school in Mesquite, Texas.
David Gavin, we have a special surprise for you.
These boys have no idea that Jazzy the Jaguar
All right, Jazzy.
is really Dad.
So much. How are you?
Air Force Sergeant Cesar Martinez
I missed you.
just completed his 4th deployment to the Middle East.
You guys are so big.
He hopes it is his final tour because the time away gets harder as Gavin and Gabe get older.
And yeah, I'm just happy to have him back. But I keep crying.
They now realize the danger Daddy is in.
He said he almost got a heat stroke and there's no water.
Yep.
So that night after that, I prayed that he won't get a heat stroke or run out of water.
Thank you.
And I kept praying every night that he'll come home safely and return to his family.
Here I am. See how those prayers get answered?
Yeah.
It's a storybook ending for a family built on sacrifice, service, and love.
Thank you for serving our country, Papi.
Thank you, son.
I do.
No one wants to follow a hearse, especially during the holidays.
It took a major piece of me and her, and especially the ones that he was just nurtured by, you know.
But sadly, it is reality for the parents of Quincy Wyatt.
He didn't deserve none of that. It's how could you do somebody like that, you know? I have no words.
Wyatt is the 20-year-old found dumped and burned here on the side of I-45 in Dallas last week. LaKevian Grant and Taylor Johnson now face capital murder charges, but more arrests could come. DPD thinks the pair only lured Wyatt to an Oak Cliff home for cash. That's where a witness saw two other men in masks shoot Wyatt once and throw him into a trunk.
That's just over extreme, like savages, you know? And
he didn't deserve that.
Regardless of what he did or how he did it, like that wasn't deserving. Nah.
Coincidentally, the charges were filed as Wyatt's family laid him to rest.
Relief, joy. It took a whole bunch of weight off of our shoulders. Like, felt like this nightmare was gonna never end, you know?
But this case hasn't taken its hardest turn yet. Johnson is the daughter of DISD board member Maxie Johnson. His son Chris fell victim to gun violence in August. Now, this mugshot, 4 months later. Johnson told WFAA, "Pray for her, pray for me." Wyatt's father has a response.
For father to father, I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
So laughter can be a science.
Yes.
Research shows marriage mellows us. Things that annoy us at first amuse us in time.
Okay, is it your turn or my turn?
That's what a 13-year study of 87 husbands and wives found. But you know what? Stats are boring.
Okay, I'm done.
These couples aren't.
Go ahead, you
You
start.
wanna go first?
You start.
They don't claim to be relationship experts, but they're doing something right.
I'm Nancy Pike. We've been married for 63 years.
And I'm Frank Pike, her husband.
Notice their hands.
Oh, is that bad?
No, that's wonderful.
Oh, okay. That's more comfortable.
More than 6 decades after I Do, Frank and Nancy Pike still love.
Well, we're partners.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. There's some,
More importantly,
they're going to cut that. That's going to be all. That's enough of that.
they still laugh.
Good night.
How did we stay together so long? I think kind of a mutual respect for each other's opinions. We also don't always laugh. Sometimes we make each other argue. Cut that.
That's another one that goes out.
They rarely fight. At their age, they've learned to let things go.
God's honest truth.
Cut that.
Dick and Tiffany are comical.
That's so weird.
Weird?
What?
Nah.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm a straightener.
He's a straightener.
I'm a straightener.
I'm not.
She's not. And I knew it right away that was going to be a situation that...
a situation?
A situation.
Huh, interesting.
No, we don't change behavior with laughter. We
No. We
cope
celebrate
with
it.
behavior. Celebrate. Nice.
We celebrate it.
You
Isn't that
celebrate
good?
it. I cope.
Yeah.
Comedy is what their marriage is made of.
We'll go with stripes today. I think stripes are good. Yeah? You feeling it? I'm feeling this.
Oh, this one is good. Hold on.
Ew.
That's why we're here. For that.
They work together, visiting sick kids at local hospitals together.
Everybody dance now.
And they're good.
He can say one word and I know where he's going.
Together.
We've had some tragedies this year, and the laughter reminds you you're breathing, and things aren't so bad.
Oh, yes.
There is an actual physiological benefit to laughing.
It helps all of us keep a healthy perspective.
So it might be that your spouse likes to leave their socks on the floor, and it might not be about the socks on the floor, it's about not feeling respected or heard. And if this isn't addressed, usually in a humorous way, you may not be able to convey what you really need.
Here's the takeaway. While no relationship is perfect, those built on respect and commitment,
Don't
what?
give up.
love, and laughter. A whole lot of laughter usually last. We really don't need stats or science to say, with certainty, humor is good for your soul and your soulmate. I'm Teresa Woodard. Ask anyone who rides motorcycles and they'll tell you.
You get to feel the actual pavement, you feel the air.
There is nothing like it.
I love it, absolutely addicted to it.
For years, it's been Chris Murray's outlet. His Instagram page devoted to it. A love he's been able to share with his 72,000 followers. But not with the one person who means the most.
Come here, big boy. You want dad, don't you? You want dad.
This is Chris's brother, Nicholas.
Come here, let's sit down.
Nicholas was born with Angelman syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that affects his ability to walk, talk, and take care of himself.
Some people on the outside will look
Where are you going?
and watch us with him, and they may think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that, or oh God, my gosh, that's so hard having to do that, but he's a blessing. He's a blessing.
Chris spends his days in Flower Mound taking care of Nick,
There we go.
finding ways to share life's simple joys with his little brother. But it had never crossed his mind that he could share his biggest joy, motorcycles, with his best bud.
It wasn't something that I thought was possible.
Until he saw this, a photo posted to Instagram of a Honda Grom just like his, but with a sidecar attached.
And yeah, he came across a post of what we did and it just clicked.
This is Tyler Haynes. He owns a small shop called Industrial Moto all the way in Culpeper, Virginia.
Just a little down the road.
He's the one who built that sidecar, a first for him.
Our specialty is not sidecars.
But when Chris reached out via Instagram and told him Nick's story, it was a no-brainer.
We jumped all over it. We just couldn't wait to do it.
He agreed to build a specialized sidecar on Chris's bike, shipping it from Texas to Virginia and back, so Nick could feel what his brother feels.
Guys, we did it.
And on a YouTube video now viewed more than 300,000 times, he watched as Nick experienced the thrill of a motorcycle for the very first time. It is now a joy Nick gets to feel alongside his brother.
There you go.
Day after day.
There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. It's amazing. Fills my heart up. It just makes you feel better as a father, just knowing that he can experience some of the joys that we have that he doesn't get to do on his own.
What's up, nickel butt?
That grin, that laugh, that sheer unbridled happiness.
You looking good down there.
I forgot what it felt to enjoy something so simple.
It is a reminder to us all, and a reminder that a brother's bond knows no bounds. In Flower Mound,
There we go.
I'm Lauren Zakalik.
You gonna stay back, buddy?
Our nation felt broken when hate seeped into our state. A graduate of the school in Maroon
The man that did that lived in our neighborhood, right?
is accused of killing 22 people in the hometown of the team in white.
We couldn't imagine that somebody could do that to us. Nobody in El Paso would have done that.
It's not something that
Texas is about.
But few things are as Texas as high school football. Under bright lights on a big field.
We're all family, we're all one, and this is what this game's about.
Hearts are still broken. But this is where healing begins.
My son's a senior for Eastwood, and I came to see him play.
This is Texas.
And to show El Paso strong. And we want to make sure everybody knows that we're going to stay strong.
Handshakes and hugs, faith and family, tears and togetherness, sportsmanship and strength.
It sends a message of you just got to keep going. You just got to band together, and it's just all about people being together.
Texas is diversity, unity, and a little bit of swagger. And that's why you just don't mess with it. In Frisco, I'm Teresa Woodard.
It's 7 a.m. on a Thursday, but what you're about to see happens 5 days a week at 7 a.m. He arrives at the Forest Lane DART station by car, unfolds himself as much as he can, grabs a walker from the trunk, and his journey with a weathered brown briefcase begins.
Thank you very much.
This is the morning routine of John DeShazo Jr., 92-year-old.
Good morning.
John DeShazo Jr.
Arriving, red line.
Or, as he prefers to call himself, just a regular guy on his way to work.
I've had to get up earlier because I'm slower.
This is the red line.
Thank you very much. Once I get going, I'm okay.
He makes this trip 5 days a week.
Every day, yes.
Even though he has scoliosis so severe that doctors have told him that at his age it can't be fixed.
Now arriving, Packard Station.
But where is he going? And at his age, why?
Enjoy the people on the train.
Because a lifetime career isn't over just yet. John DeShazo was once the director of transportation for the city of Dallas, and for the past 39 years a civil engineer in private practice, making sure traffic and trains and even parking garages are designed to move people in the most efficient way possible.
Dallas Union Station.
For him, a Dallas Rapid Transit train is now the most efficient way possible to get him each day to Union Station.
Here you go, I got you for you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good, how are you?
Very well, and yourself?
Because in his third-floor office there is still much work to do.
We've not heard back from the client on that then.
He still runs the company that bears his name.
Okay, thank you.
And works next to a photo of General George Patton on purpose.
I liked his can-do attitude, just his motivation.
Yeah, you feel like you're doing that now with your age and your health condition, and here you still are?
Yes.
But I had to ask him if his trip to work each day is as painful as it looks.
Probably is, but I don't let it bother me. Frankly, I don't think about my problems.
Or you do consider your situation a problem at all?
That's correct.
You don't?
I don't.
He explained the rest with a joke. Why do you keep coming to this office?
Well, you know, if you retire, you don't have any holidays.
The only retirement certificate on his wall is the one from his days in the Army. And unlike the traffic meter lamp at his desk, his usefulness has not yet expired.
I think that people need to have some type of mission in life.
Is that part of what still motivates you?
Yes.
Making that contribution?
Yes.
He has signs on the wall reminding himself to sit up straight, to sit tall. But maybe at 92, he already does. That desire to contribute and to do something and achieve something doesn't go away just because you're 92.
Right.
So if you see John on the train, he says don't feel sorry for him. He's still doing what he loves, going to and from the job he still wants to do. Plus, if he takes the train,
it gives me, 30 more minutes of productivity.
He has more of his ever so valuable time to get more things done. In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
in a second everything can change.
There was a time when these keys fixed everything.
Piano was her peace of mind.
Silence is what happens when a place of refuge becomes a source of sorrow.
On the ground, that rubble apparently hitting a woman, falling on top of her, critically injuring her.
Boston, November 4th, 2018.
Witnesses say they heard a loud crash and saw a woman under the rubble.
A portion of a building collapsed. Concrete fell to the ground, crushing a 23-year-old North Texas woman who just happened to be walking on the sidewalk below, touring Boston with her boyfriend.
For about 3.5 hours, I thought she passed away.
Sonia Banduel started playing piano when she was 5, and she never stopped. She played through high school in Frisco. She majored in piano at the University of Houston. She moved to New York, landed big gigs, and taught lessons 5 nights a week. Until that weekend getaway to Boston.
And this thing.
Her opening her eyes first time in the ICU was like born all over again.
She was alive, but she was broken.
I remember myself, I was like, no way, no, you can't do it, you can't do it, no, please save it. Do whatever you have to do, but just save it.
Amputating her mangled middle finger sounded like a terrible option, but it was the only option.
Besides amputating the third finger, they had to reconstruct my index finger. So it was, pretty intense.
All right, I'm just gonna reset that for you.
Sonia's survival seems miraculous.
Squeeze it down and back.
That she's back in Texas, thriving during intense physical therapy does too. Her jaw, ribs, pelvis, vertebrae, leg, foot, left elbow, and right hand were all broken.
Bring it back just a notch.
She endured 9 major surgeries and 3 months in bed.
I couldn't even imagine going back to the piano with this state. And I just figured, well, I might as well just save myself from the frustration and from everything. It's hard to keep that. But then slowly I kind of came to realize that I do want to try again.
This is the moment you would expect to hear Sonia on the piano. But you won't. Sonia is a professional, a perfectionist, and she's private. She is adapting to playing with 4 fingers instead of 5, but she is not comfortable playing in front of a camera. So for now, silence fills the air, but optimism does too.
So she will be a professor. She will still play piano, even when she feels like she can't. It'll happen, yeah.
It's gonna be a long road, but she will do it. I have no doubts.
You can just compare, sitting for hours trying to get one note right. And then here it can be kind of similar. You just have to say, okay, today I'm gonna be able to get my spoon this close, and then tomorrow maybe I can get it this close. And so you can't just rush it, you have to wait.
It'll just take practice, something this pianist knows well. In Frisco, I'm Teresa Woodard.